Welcome to People Legal.
Thank you, David. Great to be here.
What an amazing conference, eh?
Yeah, it's been by far our best yet by a long way.
So lots of exhibitors, lots of people walking through the door, new venue.
Yep, we've had probably definitely our most amount of exhibitors ever, by far the most attendees across the 2 days. And we've moved to a different part of Auckland. So it's a lot closer to a lot of the law firms, a much better venue, which is much better facility for exhibitors, a lot lighter and stuff like that. So they're getting a lot more out of it than perhaps where we were previously.
Yeah, I mean, very good comments from the people I've actually walked around and talked to so far. They really feel like it's been worth the trip. And it's funny, you've got Aussie exhibitors, you've got Aussie firms coming over here for the event, and especially for that.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look around, we've got a real cross-section of firms. We've got Kiwi firms as well, but we've got a lot of, and especially in this APAC market, a lot of firms are run out of Australia, but also they service New Zealand really well, and a lot of them have got teams on the ground here too. So, and coming along to an event like this with a lot of potential clients, and that it works well for them.
It's a great place to test the APAC market. I mean, New Zealand.
Yeah, definitely, and we've often seen that over the years with companies, as sort of if it's a new product or something, it's a nice sort of to test something in the markets, and sometimes they've launched something here, take it to Australia, then take it further afield. So we've seen that over the years work really well.
Yeah, I have too, and I think the firms over here are very communicative and very open about like giving feedback in terms of actually fit for market, etc.
Yeah, I think so. I think the ones that work really well, having that relationship and dialogue with the client, and we heard from a couple today around where they go with their product. They listen to the customer feedback, and they adapt. Because at the end of the day, they're building it for their customers, and but having the ability to actually be prepared to have that conversation, I think, is great. And customers appreciate that as well, because they want something that actually really works for them, and know that that it's a partnership and how they partner in with.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually heard quite often that from a point of view of actually whole product market fit and product management point of view, New Zealand is a very strong place to come and do that.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen, well, you look around this venue here, there's just so many companies that not many, a lot have just started into the New Zealand market. They're using this bit of a test bed of where they go next with things and that. And we've seen that over a number of years now, with some great successes where companies have gone on to. I mean, some of them have started here, and others that are not New Zealand companies have come here, and as you said before, use this as a great market to test a product in.
So you've got a bit of a secret.
Well, I don't know what the secret is.
You're the secret source to companies coming to this region. I mean, a lot of companies actually say, they mention your name, they say, Andy's one of the people we talk to about like the feasibility of coming to the region. So you're sort of a bit like doing a bit of go-to-market type stuff.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is just having that ability to talk to both sides, to know the clients, the customer base, to know sort of to help those tech companies come into the market. And even with LawFest, we always sort of say it's just a great place to have everyone in the one spot under the one roof. You can come and have a look around and see what's there. And I know over the years it's you do a lot of work trying to allow the tech companies to meet the potential clients and that, and you're sort of that sort of in between where you really help the conduit sort of to help that experience.
But you've also been a really big supporter of the scale-ups and the startups and that sort of stuff as well. Like I noticed some folks around the room today that are actually building a business up, and you've been helping those guys along the side.
And even when we look over the years, like something we've been running is our startup sort of thing. And a lot of these companies, like we love everyone that comes to LawFest, but sort of you appreciate there's a lot of firms that don't have big budgets, but they still need some exposure, and they've got to start somewhere. And just looking at the enthusiasm that some of these companies have got, and got some great ones here, but even when we look back 2 or 3 years of companies that were startups then, and how far they've gone, and we sort of look back with some sort of pride there that sort of they sort of kicked off with us, and you're trying to sort of support them as much as you can going through, and like like if you're a startup, like we'll help you come to
Yeah.
the event, so you got to get exposure to people. And what I always find from an attendee perspective, everyone wants to sort of see the new technology that's around and speak to people. It's just a great way to make those connections and network, and then see what your solution is.
Absolutely, it's been a great vibe. I mean, yesterday was a big success. I mean, people mentioned that having the first afternoon where they could sort of bump in and network and meet people and have a look around, that sort of stuff, and the content as well. Great success.
Yeah, it was our first time doing that, and sort of a lot of unknowns as to how it would work. But sort of what we've found, speaking to a lot of from the tech company side, it was having quality time with people. And like when today, the second day of LawFest, is very much it's hustle and bustle, some great speakers and that, and then you're going out and meeting the expo people. But yesterday, people got to spend more time, and it's quality, not quantity.
Yes.
I think people really appreciated that, and we made it easy for people to attend. So if you wanted to pop along for an hour or two around lunchtime or at the end of the day, people came along. And the other thing we found worked really well was senior leadership from firms that sometimes they just don't have the time to be at a conference for 8 or 9 hours, to take an hour or two out of the day to come along. And that was so valuable to get those people here, which perhaps we hadn't always done in the past. So that was something that worked really well. And obviously the tech companies really appreciated that. And I think the other thing that people appreciated was other attendees appreciated some of the large law firms being here and being here and really supporting things and being able to connect with them and have conversations with them. And I think people really sort of appreciated that sort of side.
Yeah, no, brilliant. And so what do you see the biggest difference from last year and this year in terms of the what's on people's lips? What are they saying? What's the differences and things you're hearing?
Like, obviously, AI is everywhere. It's in every conversation. I think probably as you walk around most tech vendors, it's in that first sentence of the elevator pitch. And I think there's a lot of people that are here to see and learn, but a lot of people want to know, okay, where do I start? What do I do? What's right for me? And we get a lot of that out of speaking to the tech providers, also listening to the sessions. But I think what people really appreciate is networking with their peers and asking them, what are you doing? What have you found? What are you finding? And they can speak to people in similar size organisations and have those sort of conversations. And I think we're all still finding our way where things are going to go. Everything's moving so quickly. And I think we've seen a bump and obviously people coming along.
Yeah, it's really big.
On the back of that. But I think that's where the interest is. Everyone knows that sort of, you can't turn a blind eye to do this. It's happening, but what works best for us, and talking to peers, what's happening, and then obviously going and talking to the tech companies and saying, okay, what can they provide that can help us?
And what do you think the takeaways from a conference would be for some of the for some?
Like I think a lot of it's that, but also I think reinforcing the role of the human element and things. Like, we're all about sort of some fantastic tools around here, but how it can actually enhance what you do rather than the scaremongering replacing you. And like, it will change how we do some tasks and that, but sort of there's a lot of our speakers really touched on that, which is good, because we don't get anywhere by just scaring people. So I think what was good is sort of hitting that right level. We had a session just before around what skills will firms be looking for going forward, because that's a lot of uncertainty for people at the moment. Is, okay, what does my role look like going forward? Is my role going to be there going forward? But actually having the confidence to know, okay, how do I upskill? How do I become more valuable, more important? How do I actually use the technology to really aid and help how I operate? And how to have better relationship skills and those sort of things. So I think there are that human sort of side. Yeah, the tech's great, the AI is great, it's going to help what we do, but it's reinforcing how the human side can actually enhance what we do.
Let's talk calendars. I mean, basically, I'm actually a US or a UK like marketing manager, that sort of stuff. I'm actually eyeing the APAC region, things like that. How far back should they be looking at for this region? And then what are the timelines?
Yeah, well, like we putting a LawFest hat on. LawFest is once a year around this window of sort of late February, early March. A lot of the work that we do here, firms are getting in sort of 9-12 months before sometimes. Like, we're having conversations now about what happens next year. We're having conversations with people about sort of, there are firms here that haven't really launched. This is their launch into the market. and what comes next, how they can, okay, you go to a big event like this, which is great, but how do we take it further? And there are a lot of firms here that are going to do more smaller sort of things going forward. I think a lot of the time it's trying to get that further exposure. How do we capitalize on? We've had a great opportunity here to be everywhere, but what do we do next? Because I think, and that's something that we work with a lot, is that sort of, we love everyone coming every year, but a year's a long time. So what can we do? And we work a lot with a lot of these tech companies, and where we go from here, the conversations, keep that going before we actually get to the next year.
So basically, if there's interest in this region, or for an overseas company, or for or if they've got an idea locally here, they should be talking to you way ahead of time, just to actually suss it out and understand the business case.
Yes, absolutely. Like LawFest, like we move out of today and we move into next year pretty quickly, and a lot of conversations have already happened with the existing people here. There are people that are not here that we've got conversations going on with. We start to move. We move very quickly over the next month or two, having those sort of conversations, getting people locked in, getting a lot of these partners locked in, and then what they do once they commit to the event, well, then they can put a plan around it. Okay, how else do we sort of get further exposure? And we've seen even at LawFest here, there's some people here for the first time, and what they've done, they put a full marketing campaign around it. So they're not just turning up for the event; they're letting everyone know they're now here in the market.
Well, it's a good ramp up. I mean, it gives them a chance as well to actually, if they're going to put boots to the ground here or do something like that, if they're actually an overseas company, it gives them a chance to make the whole session really work and launch and plan and have boots to the ground, etc.
Yeah. Absolutely, and we've seen a lot through the media, and then people in the following, even before the event and after the event, sort of going off with some of the leads they've got out of today, and actually having a sit down, more formal conversation of how they can help them. And there's real interest from people, because everyone's looking at the moment, which is great for the tech companies. Everything moves so quickly. So even if someone's sort of invested in a particular tool, things do move quickly. You've got to continue to see what else is out there and have those conversations. And I think that's the other thing. Like you've got people that are partners with certain people, but they're having conversations with others, which you just have to, with how fast things are moving.
I'm going to hit you with a really hard question now. You ready for this one? Talk to me about a situation like, if I'm actually an exhibitor coming here, what sort of ROI do you think they'd be looking at?
Well, it's a difficult one. It's probably part of their plan of what they're looking to do. There are some people here that they are here to just test the market to see whether there is going to be a market. So there's those ones, and then there's others that are going to they leverage. Like we're just going around today, talking to people, the amount of new leads that they've got.
I've heard that.
So you've got some that are it's continuing the relationships they've got. So it's the usual question: if you're not here, why are you not here?
That's exactly right.
And we love everyone to be here, but so you want to be there to keep those existing clients, but sort of making those new leads. And we're finding just a lot of people just saying, well, whatever investment they made with LawFest, the leads they've got, and it doesn't take many leads to actually show that.
Well, they've been swamped with leads today. That's the first year I think they've been here, and it's been swamped.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what I've found about this market, which has matured a lot. I probably, if we were sitting here 5 or 6 years ago, I may not be saying the exact same things, but sort of everyone's interested in new players to the market. They want to know, what are they about? What do they do? People are open. I was saying to someone earlier today, when we go back 13, 14 years ago, it was a really hard space. You used to have the tech vendors on one side, the lawyers on the other side, and there wasn't a lot of networking and connection. Everyone thought the tech vendors were going to try and sell them something, and then there was, they kept apart a lot. Whereas now everyone's connecting in and networking, and I think people have valued the relationship, the partnership sort of side, and I think people work with people they like, and I think that's what we've seen. Like, you might have a fantastic piece of technology, but you've got to put good people around it, and after sales service and stuff like that, and that's where you see people really stand out from the crowd.
Great crowd here, nice crowd, great vibe, that sort of stuff. I totally encourage. It's one of the few events we do globally and that sort of stuff, and like to get along to. I fully encourage. Andy, thank you so much for the invite here.
Absolutely. Thank you, David.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Brilliant.